Lots more to come on this week's SPFL review with Stephen and Eric. But more action first to the match at Tynecastle now, which paired two teams into the League Cup semi-finals. Hearts were sky high after winning the Edinburgh Derby. St Johnstone were looking for their first away league win, and Emma Dodds provides the overview.
There was a buoyant, almost jovial atmosphere at Tynecastle for Hearts against St Johnstone. The Jambos League Cup win at Easter Road, followed by Hibs manager Pat Fenlon's departure, resulted in a switch of attention in Edinburgh from Gorgie to Leith. Well, for the time being at least. But it brought with it an air of optimism amongst the home fans, confident their side can start eating into that 15-point deficit at the bottom of the table, and also turn around their recent Premiership form, which saw them take just 1 point from their previous 7 matches.
I've seen the good times, I've seen the bad times. And you know what? We'll still be here supporting this team. The heart beats on, always.
If you keep putting in 100% effort, there's no one's criticising the effort the players are putting in. I think we're just needing a wee bit of luck on our side now.
Buoyed by that midweek win over Hibs, Gary Locke named an unchanged side, while St Johnstone aimed to add to Hearts' woes by registering their first Premiership win on the road this season. The home side started crisply, Jamie Walker unlucky not to keep this powerful drive on target, facing his shot agonisingly wide. But it wasn't long before they settled back into their old habits and found it impossible to keep the visitors at bay. Hearts will feel they could have prevented the first goal. The ball deflected from a Chris Miller cross finally bounced for Nigel Hasselbank, and for a player who's just 5'6", he rose impressively to beat Jamie McDonald after 28 minutes. Hearts pressed for an equaliser, and Jordan McGee came closest when he latched on to Walker's cross, but just couldn't direct the ball goal-bound. The Perth side had made a terrific start to the second half, immediately going on the front foot. Hearts goalkeeper McDonald saved from St Johnstone namesake McDonald, but the ball remained inside the penalty box, and birthday boy Steve May, who turned 21 on the day, celebrated by steering a right foot shot into the far corner. In the absence of the injured Stephen McLean, Hasselbank and May looked impressive up front, and their goals guaranteed St Johnstone all 3 points and took them 5th in the table.
I think, the way we're playing this year, we're playing, a more expansive game. I think that's maybe cost us away from home, but we've tried to address that, and it's worked today. So really pleased.
The disappointing thing is, I thought Wednesday night, we eradicated the mistakes that we had been making, but we've went, as I say, 2 steps back today because we had plenty of opportunities to clear it and never.
Really good result for St Johnstone. Bad news though, since that game they've said that Stephen McLean, the striker who was playing so well for them, has had a knee operation. He's going to be out for 3 months. But despite that, Hasselbank and Stevie May have formed a new partnership and are doing really well. Stephen?
I don't think Tommy Wright will miss Stephen McLean as much because he's got 2 informed strikers, 2 guys who are causing problems. They're scoring goals. But if he loses one of them, then it becomes a little bit thin on the ground for him. But at the minute, Tommy Wright's happy. He's just won away at Tynecastle. He's had a great week. He's won 3 games in a week, so he's pleased.
Stevie May, was he unlucky or not to be called up for Scotland?
He may well feel he's unlucky, but I must admit, I think the players that are in possession of the shirt, if you like, are more experienced at a higher level, and I would suggest that maybe it's just not the time at this moment. As
for Hearts, you would feel after having won the derby, there was ever a time to kick on, it would have been there, Eric? Yeah, you would have thought so. However, it can be very demoralising. I mean, they've gone through so much at the club, and as Stephen will rightly tell you as well, we've both been there, when you're losing games consistently, it's so difficult and very demoralising. Stephen, you've been there. We'll move on. And we'll leave you, as always, this week in the very capable hands of William McIlvanney.
Just as Dundee United believed they had gained their first away win against Celtic in over 20 years, the champions struck to equalise. Unbeaten Celtic will be looking for the same fortune in midweek as their thoughts turn to Europe and the prospect of further glory against Ajax in Amsterdam. As the rains opened up in Paisley, the jinx of Ross County struck again. St Mirren's lead was abandoned due to a waterlogged pitch. While there was rain in Paisley, there were fireworks in the capital as birthday boy Stevie May continued his rich vein of goal-scoring form for St Johnstone against Hearts. Meanwhile, Hibernian manager Pat Fenlon's resignation left Jimmy Nicholl unable to inspire his team to victory against the Steelmen of Motherwell. Fenlon's departure leaves the Edinburgh side seeking their 10th manager in 16 years. who will now dare to be the 11th. Terry Butcher remains an early contender, while the Inverness Cally Thistle manager vows to stay at the Highlanders. Speculation continues to gather apace following a strong victory over Kilmarnock.